Hello ladies and gentlemen, I am excited to bring this game to you today. This is a game between myself and a good toss player. I was really proud to have played against such a good player and have done so well. So you will see what happens here as the game unfolds. Um, I always like to kill the probe if a scout comes in the base, and um, sometimes what you can do is you can trap him inside of your base. He barely escapes, but I was going to try to trap him inside of my base were he to come in. And just a little tip I would recommend to you, if you do think, well, a probe is almost always going to come in your base, I would hotkey two of your probes, like I did, to be your little army to begin the game with, because you don't want the probe killing your SCV who is building your barracks, and happens once in a while even to really good players. And so I would just hotkey two of your SCVs beginning of the game. They'll be your little army, if and of course it should be a different one than the one building your barracks. And I would attack as soon as you see the probe come into your base. If he starts running away from you, that's fine. Then you don't even have to select one. Just with both of them still selected, just click BS, means build supply depot, not what you're thinking, and then you'll block yourself in, and hopefully the pro will still be running around in your base, and then build a marine and finish him off. Don't let him get away. So I decided to just scout around with my SCV. And if I see that by process of elimination, I will find out where he is not, and then I don't go into his main, because I would much rather scout him later on. In my league, you don't see too much cheese. You have to be prepared for everything anyway, and the only thing that really could mess with me is a void ray rush, and not many people do that. So here we do see a little push though, and I built this bunker in the hopes that it could repel pretty much anything that my opponent here sends to me. And you'll see that this defense can be broken through with this army. And so if I had gotten my probes, or excuse me, SCVs over here, perhaps I could have repaired and then kept him locked outside my base. But because this went down, I was a little bit worried that he was gonna warp in reinforcements and kill me. So I go ahead and take all my SCVs off the line. You might think this is overkill, but I was kind of right. I mean, he warps in all these units. It looks like it's game over, but I have enough of an army to where I occupy the troops, the enemy troops, with my SCVs. And you might say, oh my gosh, you lost so many SCVs. Well, the good news is that as a diamond player told me, if you forgate someone, then you've got nothing left. If you forgate and if you lose, then you're gonna lose the game. And I don't know if there's a faster way to counter this. I think usually, if you counter the forgate like my friend was talking about, it doesn't mean you lose all your harvesters. And you can see I'm down 8 to 18 harvesters. But look, the minerals are about the same. In fact, I'm a little bit above in minerals. So don't give up if you're Terran. You can call down mules. They're like 10 workers each. So what was I going to do next? Well, I was going to rebuild my little bunker. Hope that this time he won't be able to break through it. By this time I have 3 barracks. I'm able to start making my more powerful unit marauders. I think I had more marines last time. This time I'm putting 2 Marauders in here. That gives them a range of 8. 7 plus, or is it 6 or 7? Sorry, it gives them a range of 7. That's a nice head start, especially the concussive grenades. And I did get the concussive grenade upgrade. I'm going to fast forward here. Not much happens for a little while. He eventually comes, he gets his expansion here. He eventually is going to come poke at me again, and it's kind of fun because I think he realizes that I've recovered, and I think he was a little bit surprised. Right there, actually. If you rewind it, you'll see he does a double take. It's always good when you see that your opponent took a double take. He says, seems like a lot of pretty good troops. I thought I had damaged him worse than that. You damaged me pretty good, my friend, but because of the power of the mule, I've been making workers as fast as possible. So we're still pretty even. Yeah, he's got 2 bases, but army size, pretty even. In fact, I've pulled ahead mineral. He's a little bit ahead gas. So, moving forward, he's getting some colossi out. If you ever have thought it's impossible for a Terran player to effectively engage a bunch of colossi and void rays, then prepare to be amazed, my friends. The key to beating Protoss is to get your ghost out. I got that starting energy upgrade, starting to get some ghosts out. They're the key. And you have to scout a little bit, because I do need to know if he's making void ray or carriers, because right now they would pretty much pawn me. So I did lay down a scan, and that is what I saw. And because I saw the robotics bay, and I believe I saw the robotics bay, yes. So I was pretty sure that, at least for a while, he's just going to be making colossi. Again, my army is pretty compatible to his, and got 3 ghosts, 4 ghosts. I'd like to get up to 5 ghosts, I think is needed, and try to put them in the back of your army, or spread them out a little bit if you can, because in a big battle you're going to want to have them able to EMP all sides. If you don't want to have them all in the middle, or they won't maybe won't be able to reach all sides. So here's a big battle, and I did not EMP these guys because I only saw 4 of them, and that was a waste of troops really on his part. So here goes down the EMPs. It's easy to think that the EMP, there's another one, that it shouldn't count. It doesn't really hurt the enemy troops, because it's only hurting their shield, and their shield isn't really their life. But it's only if you're thinking about reality and not in StarCraft terms, because in StarCraft terms, it pretty much is their life. And the fact of the matter is, I never EMP enough. I EMP them twice. I should have EMP'd them more, because look, I could have taken down 50 energy on all those colossi with an extra EMP. I just EMP them once. I forget that their shields are more than 100. So you're gonna want to EMP twice if you see colossi. Just go ahead and do it twice. And the fact of the matter is, you're probably gonna miss some of the other units anyway. So don't be afraid to EMP. You want to EMP before your ghosts die, and you want to EMP right away, or otherwise your troops are going to be firing at shields that are going to be taken down anyway. So you want to EMP as soon as possible and as many times as possible. You might want to save 1 or 2, but rarely do I come close to using all my ghost energy, so I might as well overdo, because they're going to die. You might as well do it as much as possible. Just like Storm, you want to storm as much as possible. You want to EMP as much as possible. Once in a while, it will be obvious you don't need to EMP more than once, but if you don't, you're wasting it pretty much. You're not going to need it when they're dead. You might as well try. You might as well give it a shot. So, looking at the army tab here, armies are very close. One reason why I made that push and attacked when I did was because I had just gotten the 1/1 upgrade, and I think it's a good idea to attack right after you get the upgrade. Attack right after you have a round of units popping out. I did a great job in this game building more and more barracks as the game progressed. I also did a good job expanding. And sometimes I forget. You have to always be building SCVs. You have to always be expanding. Look, I've got more harvesters than he does. He forgot to keep building harvesters. He forgot to keep expanding, and that is really, I think, what cost him the game. It's possible to have a lot more resources at this point in the game, and both of us could have done a better job. Now look at this. He's making some void rays. He only has one Stargate. Yeah, Stargate. He only has one Stargate, and at this point, fortunately, I'm making a starport because actually I'm doing it because I got stim, or I'm getting stim, and I want to heal my troops. And there it is. Stim is just completing, and I knew he had some colossi, so I wanted to make both. One starport can pop out a lot of units, as you'll see. I'll just leave that tabbed, and we'll see the units that pops out. Because here come, right now there's just two more void rays are coming. There's 3 void rays. Right now I've got making 2 more medvacs. I've got 4 medvacs and no Vikings. EMPs go down a little late, but it took me a while to realize he was attacking me. These 3 guys don't get hit at all by the EMP, but fortunately I always build a missile turret out there. It seems like they always do good damage on the colossus. In fact, I probably should have built a couple more. Rarely does the Protoss player take out the missile turrets. It's hard to remember the missile turrets came with ground units because normally they can't do that. But build some missile turrets if you're. So I'm building a bunch of missile turrets now. I'm afraid of stuff walking over this cliff. I'm afraid of void rays harassing me. Now I'm starting to pump out Vikings. Let's see how quickly this happens. Got 2 Vikings. I'll click the units tab. Put another turret. Got an expo going. It's hard to take out an expo like this if you're a TOS player. It's not that easy. Here's 3 void rays. Here's 5 colossus, 4 void rays. Got 4 Vikings, 6 Vikings. It's got 5 void rays, 7 colossus, 5 void rays, 8 Vikings. Who's gonna win this battle? If we look at army size, he's got twice the gas, 1,000 more mineral. Just shows you it's so important. Unit composition is so important. The more powerful units, and he was not getting upgrades as his other. Really, that probably was his fatal weakness. And he really should not have split up his army. That was a bad decision. But I believe I would have won the battle either way. But this did not help. He comes in here, probably the worst place he could have gone. He takes down 2 supply depots. It's okay if you lose some supply depots. It only costs 100 mineral. You don't want to be supply blocked, but it's really a problem. You can easily rebuild more. Look at how much money and gas he has, but his army is not maxed out. Here's what you do. This is how you attack void rays. You just want to flirt with them. You want to kite. You want to just attack and pull back. And he ran away the very first time I did that. And at this point I realize I have so many more Vikings than he does void rays. And right here, I probably shouldn't have even pulled back. I probably should have danced around a little more, and maybe I could have taken out a couple of colossus, but he has so few stalkers. I felt pretty good about my chances with this army. I had 4 ghosts. It's funny, it doesn't look like I have that many units, but I really do. I've got 14 marauders and 17 marines and 4 ghosts, and how many? Oh yeah, here's some more. Look at this. These all these Vikings came from just one starport. And so I took a couple SCVs with me. I wanted to have a little bit of a buffer. I had extra. I couldn't get them over here. Tried to send them over there earlier. A couple of them got killed. So I felt good about my chances because I knew these Vikings were going to own him at this point. He didn't have enough stalkers. And so there might have been a better way to micro this, but I think I did a pretty good job. EMPs go down. Did a good job with that. Still a couple colossus escaped in the back. I stemmed up. Medvacs are healing though. Keeping my troops alive. The colossus are just going down like crazy. Perhaps I should have pulled back my troops, but I felt like I was probably going to be victorious. So he killed all my ground troops, and I killed all of his ground troops except for this one stalker, which had like 4 life left. And here comes some reinforcements. But a real key to the game is you need to have more unit production facilities late game than your opponent. He does not have enough unit production facilities. I have less money than he does, but that's because I'm constantly producing units. Look at all of these units I have. They're all queued up. In fact, I really should have had more. In terms of income, looks like I was ahead of him on income at this point. He had one more expansion than me. Well, it's still building. So at this point in the game, I had a good feeling. I thought I could press and win, but I needed to gather some ground troops first, and I didn't wait too long. I thought he could probably rebuild soon enough, but I could land these Vikings if I had to finish cleaning up any of the ground forces he might have. And he was getting ready to attack again. He felt pretty good too about things, but he just didn't have as many unit production facilities as I did. One thing I did mess up on was I forgot to make some ghosts for this final battle, but I had plenty of medvacs, and really perhaps the medvacs gave me the victory. So it's game over. Hope you enjoyed it. I sure had fun playing this game. Always feels good to beat Mass Void Ray Mass Colossus, and hope you learned something, and see you guys next time.